So going to our next caller, we have Stephen, and I don't know which state he's from, but Stephen, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Stephen,
we
where
can.
where in the world are you? What state are you in, or what country?
Texas.
Texas. Okay, that's a whole other country.
It is a country.
How may we help you today, my friend?
So, I'll give a quick backdrop so you can ask clarifying questions so that way I don't take up too much time. Me and my wife have been separated for 6 months. She has filed for divorce. The reason we separated is because I did find out about emotional affair she had with a regular at a bar that she used to work at.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the very nicest person when I found this out. And then so hopefully I don't get judged on this. I did try to do self-harm in front of her the last day we spoke or saw each other, which was the end of June. We've only had contact through her work email since then, and now she has cut off all contact within the last month. So I'm trying to see, how do I establish contact again?
Well, of course, you can't force a person to talk to you. And if you try to force a person to talk to you, she's just going to be pushed further away. And what I just heard you say is this, that you have done things, and I'm not trying to beat you up. What's done is done, okay? I'm just trying to understand that you've done things where that was like she wants to avoid you because she's afraid that you, for example, may hurt yourself. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well, do you have any friends in common at all?
So that's the awkward situation is we own a home in Texas together, and her parents have been living with me now the whole time.
Okay. Well, that's kind of an unusual situation, of course. How do you get along with them?
Yeah. It was to help them. It was to help them out
I got
a couple years ago when we bought the house.
Right. So how do you get along with these
But
people?
they're not on my side.
Okay. So are you friendly
fine.
at all? Are you talking to each other at all?
Yeah.
Okay. And so at least you can
Oh, yeah, we
communicate
are.
with them.
Actually, correct.
Okay. So here's what we recommend.
And I've been working on my pies and
Good.
not really showing them, but going back to church more. And they're very church going people, even though my wife is not.
Right.
And I try to talk to them about religious stuff and scripture and stuff like that, and try to have them be there for me, at least spiritually, if not physically, if that makes sense.
Okay, I understand that. Well, what we recommend when the other person's not having communication with you, and you already understand what the pies are, and for those others out there who are watching or listening who do not, it has to do with physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual. You can find out for the others. You can find that all over our website at marriagehelper.com. You can find it on our podcast. You can find it in many, many different places. And so what we recommend is when you don't have direct contact with the person, he or she doesn't want that contact, then you live the pies in such a way that you hope that people who have contact with her, who also see how you're growing and changing, will tell her. Now, you don't ask them to tell her because of the fact that that almost always comes back and backfires on you in some fashion. And so you don't ask. What you do is that you live it realistically. In other words, and I'm not saying that you would do this, it's not something you're doing so that they'll give the message. You're doing it because it's what you really want to be. I want to be the best I can physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. In other words, it's very genuine. And hoping then that the people who have contact with her, who see you or have exposure to you, actually will at some point tell her about that. And so consistently live that in front of her parents, genuinely. And be careful that you don't come across ever as trying to manipulate them to be on your side, manipulate them in any fashion to be against her, or manipulate them in any fashion where they feel like they're being used as some kind of a middleman. So be very, very careful you don't do that. Now, it's awfully generous of you that they still live with you. Good for you. I'm glad that you're letting that happen. So be as genuine as you can in your own personal development, my friend. And without manipulating them or even asking them, you hope that the message finally gets back to her. Hey, he's becoming a better person. It's amazing what's happening here. He's got control of himself emotionally now, and those kinds of things. So that she doesn't have any fear about the fact that, well, you're going to hurt yourself if I'm with you or anything else. Now, I realize that's a very slow path. And I realize it's kind of frustrating because it doesn't do what you want it to do immediately. But right now, my friend, you're in a long game, not a short game. And if you can do this consistently, we truly and honestly and genuinely hope that that message will get to her. If so, at some point, hopefully then, that realigns the communication. But you've got to be patient here. Genuinely work on you and be patient. That's the key to this. Got it?
All right, Joe, I appreciate that. And for anyone else listening, there's no kids involved, so that's why there's no other contact.
I understand.
So
Yeah.
this is for those that, don't have kids and there was no affair or anything like that. It was just my actions led down a very bad rabbit hole
Hey,
that
brother.
I created for myself. So
We're all human. We all mess up. The thing is, what do you do now? Okay? Don't beat yourself up.
but I appreciate y'all and all the podcasts. I probably listened to over 100 hours.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
all the way back to 2015. So
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was only 12 years old back
yeah,
then.
I've put it.
Okay, my friend. My heart is with you.
But
okay?
thank you guys. Y'all have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Same as
Thank
Stephen.
you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay.